Most people don't lose because they lack strength. They lose because they lose control of their emotions the moment they're challenged. Think back to the last time you watched someone who was absolutely right still lose an argument. They had the facts. They had logic on their side. But the moment pressure showed up, they collapsed. Their voice got louder. Their movements became frantic. Their calm disappeared. And suddenly no one believed them anymore. Every confrontation you face is a test. Not a test of intelligence. Not a test of knowledge. It's a test of control. Can you stay grounded when someone attacks your ideas? Can you think clearly when your heart is racing? Can you speak slowly and calmly when everything inside you wants to explode? If you can, you don't just win the argument. You win respect. You win trust. You win power. Machiavelli understood something most people still don't grasp today. Power doesn't belong to the loudest person in the room. It belongs to the one who stays calm while everyone else falls apart. Machiavelli spent his life observing leaders, rulers, and politicians. He watched kingdoms rise and collapse, and he uncovered a harsh truth. If you can't control yourself, you can't control anything else. Today, we're breaking down exactly how to remain unshaken in any confrontation, how your body gives you away in seconds, how people judge you before you even open your mouth, and how to turn tension into an advantage instead of a weakness. Before we go further, say this with me. I stay unshaken. Say it like you mean it. Because by the end of this, you'll understand why that sentence carries more power than any argument you could ever make. Let's begin. Number 1. People trust steadiness, not excuses. Here's where most people get it completely wrong. They believe confrontations are won with the perfect words. So they rehearse their defense. They memorize facts. They sharpen their logic like weapons. And when the moment arrives, they unleash their perfectly crafted response. And no one cares. Because in heated moments, people aren't listening to your words the way you think they are. They're watching you, reading you, studying every small signal your body sends. Is your voice steady or shaky? Is your face relaxed or tense? Is your breathing controlled or rushed? Based on these signals, people make instant judgments. Are you credible or not? Are you strong or weak? Machiavelli wrote, "Men are governed by appearances as much as by reality." He didn't say appearances matter a little. He said they matter just as much as truth itself. How you appear during a confrontation is just as important as whether you're actually right. Watch two people argue. One has all the facts, but their voice trembles. They avoid eye contact. They fidget and rush their words. The other person may be half wrong, but they're calm. They speak slowly. They hold eye contact. Who do you believe? The calm one. Every time. Because calmness signals reliability. It makes people think, this person knows something I don't. This person is in control. Nervousness sends the opposite message. It makes people think, this person is hiding something. This person doesn't even believe what they're saying. You can hold the truth in your hands and still lose, all because you couldn't control how you delivered it. That's why preparation isn't only about what you'll say, it's about how you'll show up. When someone challenges you, your first responsibility isn't to defend yourself. Your first responsibility is to stay steady. If your tone is calm, you appear credible, even without the perfect answer. People are willing to wait for a calm person. They give them the benefit of the doubt. They don't extend that patience to someone who's panicking. Think about a job interview. You're asked a tough question you didn't expect. Option 1. You panic. You talk fast. You stumble over words. You fill silence with anything. Your voice rises, and you can see it in their eyes. You've lost them. Option 2. You pause. You breathe. You look them in the eye. You say, "That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment." Then you take that moment calmly. Which version gets the job? The second one. Not because the answer was smarter, but because the presence was stronger. This applies everywhere. Arguments with your partner, conversations with your boss, public criticism, family conflicts. Your words matter less than your presence. Your logic matters less than your composure. Stay steady, and people will trust you, even when they disagree. Stay steady, and you control the room, even without all the answers. Steadiness creates trust. Nervousness creates doubt. Number 2. A steady body creates a steady mind. Let's get specific, because telling someone to stay calm is easy. Actually doing it when your heart is pounding is something else entirely. In any confrontation, people are scanning your body, and your body always tells the truth. You can say, "I'm fine," but if your hands are trembling and your eyes keep darting around, no one believes you. Your body is a public display of your internal state, and most people can read it in less than 3 seconds. Shaking hands signal nervousness. Restless eyes signal insecurity. A rushed voice signals panic. Crossed arms signal defensiveness. Every movement, every shift in posture, every change in tone. People notice it all, and they use it to decide whether to respect you or dismiss you. Machiavelli said, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand." What people see in your composure matters more than the arguments you make with words. If you want to stay unshaken, you must control your body first. Because your mind follows your body, not the other way around. Most people get this backward. They believe if they calm their mind, their body will follow. But in a confrontation, your nervous system is already fired up. Trying to calm your thoughts alone at that moment is like trying to stop a freight train by thinking harder. Instead, control your body. Your brain takes signals from your physical state. When your body is calm, your brain starts thinking, maybe this situation isn't that dangerous. The mind follows. Here are 3 things you can control immediately. First, your breathing. When stress hits, your breathing becomes fast and shallow. You start breathing from your chest. That tells your brain, danger, survival mode. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic and reasoning, shuts down. Your amygdala, the fear center, takes over. That's why people say things they regret in arguments. Fear is driving, not intelligence. So when you feel the heat rising, slow your breath. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Breathe from your belly, not your chest. Do this a few times. Your heart rate slows. Your brain gets the signal. We're safe. Now you can think clearly again. Second, your posture. Sit or stand like someone who is in control. Not arrogant, just grounded. If you're standing, plant your feet shoulder-width apart. Don't rock back and forth. Don't shift your weight constantly. Stand firm. If you're sitting, sit upright. Don't slouch. Keep your shoulders relaxed, not tense, not collapsed. Keep your hands visible and still. Don't fidget with a pen, your phone, or your hair. Don't tap your fingers. Don't repeatedly cross and uncross your arms. Every unnecessary movement broadcasts nervous energy. Instead, keep your hands calm, on the table, in your lap, or at your sides. This doesn't just make you look steady, it makes you feel steady. Your brain sees your body acting composed and starts to believe it. Third, your voice. When people feel nervous or angry, their voice betrays them. It speeds up. It gets higher. It gets louder or suddenly too quiet. They rush their words, trying to get everything out before losing courage. The moment your voice starts doing that, people stop trusting you. So slow it down. Speak at about 70% of your normal speed. Lower your pitch slightly. Keep your volume even. If you need to pause, pause. Don't fill silence with nervous laughter or extra words. Let the silence sit. Silence is power. Silence makes other people uncomfortable. And when they're uncomfortable, they start talking to fill the space. When they start talking, control shifts back to you. A calm, measured voice forces people to listen. It makes you sound like you know something they don't. Here's what most people don't realize. Calm body language doesn't just make you look strong. It makes the other person question their own agitation. When you stay calm while someone else is yelling, something strange happens in their mind. They feel off balance. They're throwing energy at you, and you're not reacting the way they expected. They expected you to yell back, to match their intensity. When you don't, they start wondering, why am I so worked up? Why isn't this person intimidated? Do they know something I don't? Just like that, you've taken the high ground without raising your voice. Machiavelli understood this. Whoever controls their body controls the situation. Power isn't about aggression. It's about presence. So when someone comes at you hard, when tension spikes, remember, slow your breathing, steady your posture, measure your voice. Master your body and your mind will follow. Master both and no one can shake you. Number 3, detachment creates clarity. Let's talk about what happens when you take things personally. Someone criticizes you, questions your competence, and instantly you feel it in your chest. That surge of heat, that rush of defensiveness, that inner voice shouting, "How dare they?" From that moment on, you're no longer thinking clearly. You're reacting, defending, protecting your ego, and that's the moment you start losing. The instant something becomes personal, strategy disappears. You stop thinking ahead. You stop seeing the bigger picture. All you care about is winning right now, no matter what it costs you later. This is where detachment becomes a superpower. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you don't allow emotions to hijack your brain when you need it most. It means creating distance, even in the middle of a confrontation, and viewing the situation as an observer, not as a victim. Machiavelli once said, "A wise man acts as he must, not as he feels." Not what feels good in the moment, not what satisfies your ego, but what you must do to achieve the outcome you actually want. And most of the time, that means staying calm, staying detached, and responding with intelligence instead of emotion. Imagine this scenario. You're in a meeting. You've spent weeks working on a project. You present your idea, then someone, David, tears it apart in front of everyone. "I don't think this will work. It's not realistic. We've tried things like this before." You have 2 options. Option 1, take it personally. You get defensive. Your voice tightens. "Actually, David, if you'd read the full proposal, you'd see that I already addressed those concerns. This is nothing like what we did before." Now the room feels tense. People are uncomfortable. David doubles down because you challenged him publicly. Even if you're right, you look bad, because you couldn't handle criticism without getting emotional. Option 2, detach. You realize David's comment isn't personal. It's just information. Maybe he has a valid concern. Maybe he's just being difficult. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're not there to protect your ego. You're there to reach the best outcome. So you pause, you nod. "That's a fair point, David. What specifically concerns you the most?" Let's dig into that. Watch what happens. The tension drops. The room sees you as reasonable. David either explains his concern clearly, helping you improve the idea, or he backs down because he doesn't actually have a solid reason. Either way, you win. Not by fighting, but by staying detached. See the difference? In the first version, you acted as you felt. Defensive, emotional, reactive. In the second version, you acted as you must. Strategic, calm, focused on the outcome. That's detachment. Detachment also protects you from saying things you'll regret. How many times have you said something harsh in the heat of the moment, then spent days wishing you could take it back? That happens because you weren't detached. You were trapped inside your emotions, and your emotions wanted to hurt, to win, to strike back. Once words are spoken, they can't be pulled back. You can apologize, you can explain, but the damage is already done. Detachment creates space. Space to think. Space to choose your words carefully. Space to ask yourself, will what I'm about to say help me or hurt me in the long run? Most of the time it will hurt. So you don't say it. Instead, you respond intelligently. You stay on point. You keep your goal in mind. The more you practice detachment, the easier it becomes. At first, it takes effort. You have to consciously remind yourself to step back, to breathe, to not take things personally. Over time, it becomes automatic. You start noticing the exact moment your emotions spike. You catch yourself before reacting. You pause. You detach. Then you respond. That pause, that tiny space between stimulus and response, that's where your power lives. In that moment, you're not a victim. You're not reacting blindly. You're choosing. And when you're choosing, you're in control. One last example. Someone insults you, questions your intelligence, disrespects you in front of others. Your instinct is to fire back. Defend yourself. Prove them wrong. Make them pay. But when you're detached, You see the situation clearly. This person wants a reaction. They want you to lose control. They want you to look bad. If you respond the way they expect, you give them exactly what they want. So you don't react at all, or you respond so calmly that it throws them off. Interesting perspective. Thanks for sharing. Then you move on like it didn't affect you in the slightest. That's power. That's control. Now they look aggressive, emotional, desperate, and you look unshakable. Machiavelli understood this. Whoever controls their emotions controls the outcome. Detachment creates clarity. Clarity leads to better decisions. Better decisions lead to better results. So when someone challenges you, when tension rises, when you feel that urge to defend, breathe, step back, observe, detach. See the situation for what it is, not for what your emotions tell you it is. Then respond as you must, not as you feel. That's how you stay unshaken. Number 4. Calmness turns tension into leverage. Now we move into real strategy, because staying calm isn't just a defensive move, it's a weapon. When situations get heated, calmness immediately stands out. Voices rise, emotions spill over. People talk over one another, the energy becomes chaotic. And then there's you, quiet, steady, not feeding the noise. Instantly the dynamic shifts. People start paying attention, not because you're louder, but because you're calm in a room full of chaos. That's where leverage begins. When you remain calm while everything around you is tense, others unconsciously begin to follow your pace. They lower their voices to match yours. They slow down. They look to you for direction, stability, reassurance. You become the anchor in the room, the person who looks in control. And here's the key. It doesn't matter if others outrank you. It doesn't matter if they're older or more experienced. In that moment, authority belongs to the person who appears least shaken. Pure Machiavelli. He understood that real authority isn't granted by titles. It's claimed by the person who commands presence. Think about arguments with your partner. You stay calm while they're emotional. Suddenly, you're seen as the reasonable one, even if you're partly wrong. Family conflicts. Others raise their voices. You keep yours steady. People naturally turn to you to find a solution. Workplace disputes. Everyone is panicking. You remain composed. Your boss starts seeing leadership potential. This isn't manipulation. It's understanding reality. People are drawn to stability. When everything feels like it's falling apart, they look for someone who isn't. Someone who appears to know what to do next. If that's you, you gain influence you didn't have before. You don't need all the answers. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You don't even need to be right. You just need to be calm. Calmness creates the appearance of competence. It makes people assume you're more capable than you might feel in that moment. And once they believe that, they defer to you. They ask for your opinion. They seek your approval. That's leverage. Let's be clear. Leverage doesn't mean manipulation. It means you're in a stronger position to guide the outcome in a way that benefits everyone involved. With leverage, you can de-escalate situations. You can propose solutions people wouldn't have listened to if you were emotional too. You can say, let's all take a breath and approach this differently. And people actually listen. Why? Because you're not part of the chaos. You're part of the solution. Machiavelli wrote extensively about perception and power. He understood that how you're perceived often matters more than what you actually are. A prince who appears strong is seen as strong, even if his kingdom is struggling. A leader who appears calm is trusted, even if they feel uncertain inside. That isn't dishonesty. It's an understanding of human nature. People don't make decisions based only on facts. They decide based on what they see and what they feel. And what they see when you stay calm is strength, confidence, control. So they give you authority, even if you didn't have it before. Now imagine an argument with someone you care about. A partner, a close friend, a sibling. Things get heated. They say things that hurt. You want to strike back. You want to hurt them the way they hurt you. But you don't. You stay calm. You listen. You don't interrupt. You don't raise your voice. At first, they may keep going. They may push harder. But over time, your calmness starts working on them. They begin to feel uncomfortable being the only emotional one in the room. They slowly start to calm down too. And once they do, something important happens. The real conversation begins. Not the kind where you're trying to win, but the kind where you actually solve the problem. That's leverage. Not power over them, power with them. Calmness doesn't just protect you. It transforms the entire dynamic. It turns tension into an opportunity to lead, to guide, to create a better outcome. So when the room is hot, when emotions are running high, when everything feels out of control, don't add fuel to the fire. Be the calm in the storm, and watch how quickly you become the person everyone looks to. Number 5. Consistency builds an untouchable reputation. This is where everything comes together. Staying calm once, in a single meeting, one argument, one confrontation, that's good. It helps in that moment. People notice you handled it well. Then life moves on. But staying calm consistently, across time, across pressure, across every difficult situation, that's when you become untouchable. If you stay calm only once, people dismiss it as luck. They assume you were just in a good mood, or that the situation didn't really matter to you. They don't give you credit. They don't change how they see you. But when you remain calm every time, when things go wrong, when challenges hit, when pressure is high, people start giving you a label, unshakable. And once that label sticks, it becomes your reputation. Your reputation protects you in ways you can't see coming. When people know you don't crack under pressure, they stop trying to pressure you. They know raising their voice won't work. Aggression won't move you. Threats won't shake you. Emotional manipulation won't get a reaction. So they stop wasting energy. Instead, they approach you differently. With respect, with professionalism, with their best behavior. Your calmness becomes a shield. It filters out nonsense before it ever reaches you. Think about someone you know who never loses their cool. Truly never, no matter what happens. How do people treat them? Carefully, respectfully, because everyone knows that person won't react like most people do. Now think about someone who's always exploding, always emotional, always losing control. How are they treated? With caution, maybe, but not with respect. They're seen as unpredictable, unreliable, someone to avoid. That's the power of reputation. Machiavelli understood this deeply. He knew consistency is what separates respected leaders from forgotten ones. A ruler who is merciful one day and cruel the next confuses people. They don't know what to expect. And when people don't know what to expect, they don't trust you. But a ruler who is consistently measured, consistently firm, consistently calm, people know exactly who they're dealing with. That predictability builds trust. They may not always like your decisions, but they respect your consistency. The same rule applies to you. When you're calm over and over again, people stop seeing it as a mood, or a tactic, or a one-time performance. They see it as your character. Once it becomes your character, it becomes your identity. People start introducing you that way. You need Alex in the room. Nothing rattles them. If there's a crisis, get Jordan involved. They never panic. That reputation opens doors, creates opportunities, makes people want you on their team. Everyone wants someone around who doesn't fall apart when things get hard. But here's the hard truth. Building this kind of reputation takes time, and it demands real consistency. You can't be calm for a month, then explode once, and expect your reputation to survive untouched. It won't. One major loss of control can undo months of steady behavior. Why? Because people remember explosions more than calm moments. That's how human memory works. We remember the outliers, the dramatic moments, the time someone broke character. So if you want an untouchable reputation, you have to commit. Not for a week. Not when it's convenient. Always. That doesn't mean you don't feel emotions. You will feel frustration, anger, disappointment. It means those emotions don't control how you show up. You feel them. You process them, but you don't let them dictate your behavior in the moment. You still speak calmly. You still think clearly. You still maintain presence. Over time, this consistency compounds. Every time you stay calm when others expect you to lose it, your reputation grows stronger. Every time you handle pressure with composure, trust increases. Every time you refuse to be shaken, another brick is added to the wall protecting you. Eventually, that wall becomes unbreakable. People will test you early on, especially if they're used to seeing others crack. They'll push harder, provoke you, see if you're real or just acting. But if you pass those tests, if you stay unshaken every time, they stop testing. They accept this is who you are, and they adjust their behavior accordingly. That's when you've truly won. Not just individual confrontations, but the long game. Now you don't have to fight as many battles. Your reputation fights for you. People approach you with respect from the start. They don't try to intimidate you. They don't play games. They don't bring unnecessary drama. And on the rare occasion someone does challenge you, everyone else in the room already knows you're not the problem. Machiavelli famously said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." But there's a third option, to be unshakable. When you're unshakable, people may not fear you, they may not love you, but they respect you deeply. And respect is more valuable than either. Fear fades when you're not watching. Love fades when emotions change. But respect for someone who never breaks, that lasts. If you take nothing else from this, remember this. Calmness is not just a tactic. It's an identity. Build that identity consistently over time. And you won't just survive confrontations, you'll rise above them entirely. True strength isn't about volume. It's not about dominance. It's not about sharp comebacks or the loudest voice. It's about steadiness. People lose trust in those who can't hold themselves together. A shaking voice, cracking composure, emotions spilling over. They see that and think, this person can't be trusted with anything important. But when they see someone who stays calm, who doesn't flinch, who holds steady while others fall apart, they follow, they respect. Sometimes they even fear. Not because you're aggressive, but because you're untouchable. Machiavelli's lesson is simple. Control yourself first, and you control the situation. When you master your breathing, your posture, and your voice, you master the room. When you detach from emotion and act strategically, you win the long game. When you stay calm consistently, you build a reputation that protects you forever. This isn't theory. This is how power actually works. The unshaken person doesn't need to be the smartest, or the strongest, or the most experienced. They just need to be the one who doesn't break. And over time, that becomes everything. So remember, you don't win arguments by being louder. You win by being untouchable. Practice this in small moments first. When someone cuts you off in traffic, when a colleague snaps at you, when family pushes your buttons, stay calm. Breathe slowly. Speak steadily. Detach. Each time you do, you're building the skill, building the reputation, building the identity. Eventually, it's no longer something you do in certain situations. It's who you are in all situations. That's when you become truly unshaken. If this resonated with you, hit the like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more lessons on power, composure, and strategy. And before you go, say this one more time with me. Nothing moves me. Say it. Mean it. Live it. You're unshaken now. Prove it.